can still pray.
Do you want to pray again?
No, I just mean we
Okay.
can.
All right, I do see someone in the audience, so you do have 3 minutes if you'd like to make comments. Ms. Peterson later, just fill out a card and give it to Carla. We'd be glad to hear anything you might want to add. We appreciate you being here.
Glad, before you want to glad. I'm glad that you're interested.
Glad, I'm happy to hear what she has to say.
Sir, I'm sure this is being recorded, so we're trying to giving you the response you deserve.
All right, so we're gonna start with new business, moving right along from that. Item 2.1, adoption of budget resolution.
Do we have, excuse me, is, Amber back there? Okay.
Amber?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Make sure they're recording on this one.
Okay. Adoption of budget resolution 25-01, determining tentative millages to be levied for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. So I'm gonna move over to my script, which I guess I was supposed to already do that, sorry. I declare this meeting as a public hearing of the School Board of Lake County, Florida for the adoption of the tentative millage rates and the tentative budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Superintendent, please read the statement required on the millage for the record.
And the first thing issue to be discussed is the rollback rate. The rollback rate is defined as the millage rate necessary to generate the same amount of money that was raised the prior school year, but using the new property values after adjusting for new construction. The total millage to be levied is greater than the rollback rate by 5.57%. The required local effort millage rate is to be levied greater than the rollback rate of 7.23%.
This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the rollback rate?
I recommend that the board adopt budget resolution 25-01 determining tentative millages to be levied for the fiscal year 25-26. Included required local effort 3.081 mills, basic discretionary of 0.748 mills, and capital outlay millage of 1.5 mills, for a total of 5.329 mills. The revenues generated by this levy total: general operating $4,825,405, capital outlay $1,892,315, for a total of $6,717,720.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve budget resolution 25-01 determining tentative millages for the fiscal year 2025-2026 as stated? Have a motion by Ms. Pierce, second by Ms. Clement. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the millages? I think that should have went before the vote. Superintendent?
I recommend that the board approve budget resolution 25-02, adopting the tentative budget for the 25-26 fiscal year in the amount of $48,223,850.10.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve budget resolution 25-02 to adopt the tentative budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year in the amount of $48,223,815.10.
Go ahead.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Pierce,
Second it.
second by Mr. Lucky.
I recommend that the board declare.
Wait. Is there any discussion? This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the budget? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Dr. Burkham.
I recommend that the budget declare that the final budget hearing for the approval of the final millage rates and the final budget for the 25-26 fiscal year will be held on Thursday, September 4th, 2025 in the Glades County School Board room at 5:30.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board declare that the final budget hearing for the approval of final millage rates and final budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year will be held on Thursday, September 4, 2025, in the Glades County Schools Boardroom at 5:30 p.m.
Motion approved.
A motion by Ms. Clement,
Second.
second by Mr. Lucky. Is there any discussion? Before I ask for a motion, I'm not sure if this is correct, but I'm gonna ask this is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the time and place of the final budget hearing? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This includes the required action for the first public hearing on the 25-26 tentative millage rates and budget for Glades County Schools.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Summary of action items. Adoption of budget resolution 25-01 determining tentative millages to be levied for the 25-26 fiscal year. Adoption of budget resolution 25-02 tentative budget for the 25-26 fiscal year. And declaration that the final public hearing will be held September 4th, 2025 at the Glades County School Board Room at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much. I do wanna add, just that I did double check to make sure that our millage rate was as high as it possibly could be, and it is. And, in talking with some other board members today, about how much revenue we could raise with sales tax would probably be very minimal. Impact fees may be difficult, and apparently there are lots of restrictions on how you can use those. And so the idea of not only the resolution that we have for our flexibility, but there is also, we have the ability to ask the public for one additional mill, that we can set the parameters on what it would be spent for. And so I just want to throw that out today, to see, since we're planning to put our flexibility resolution on the bill, on the ballot, maybe we should consider that one as well. It is would be an increase to property taxes. So I don't know how you all feel about that, but that is an option that we have that might be the most lucrative.
Well. We all have feelings one way or the other if we want to pay our money, if we were to help the system. Do we want to pay it through our property taxes or through sales tax? Well, I'm a middle class person. I own a little piece of land. And assessment keeps going up, property taxes go up. I would much rather give my little extra through sales tax than to have one more thing piled on to my assessment. I'm sure if you're a large landowner, you would probably feel even more about that because,
Oh, mine's agriculture, so it
yeah,
doesn't
most
matter
years is
either.
exempt.
But the other thing, DeSantis has changed it that anyone over the age of 65 isn't gonna have to pay taxes. DeSantis and Trump
Property taxes?
are, if you personally own and you live there. Now, if it's business and that kind of thing, it's different. But personally owned homes that,
No, I can't.
retirement age, you're not supposed to pay taxes on something for the rest of your life.
Well, the idea is out there, and they are talking about that, but it's not a reality yet,
Well,
so.
supposedly Trump signed it last week. Supposedly.
Well,
I doubt it, but he supersedes,
yeah, so you're thinking there's a federal law that says if you're
That's gonna
65 or
go through,
older.
yeah, it's gonna be in every
exempt.
state, it's gonna be in every state, yeah. There's already some states that have already exempted it. There's 3 or 4 of them that have.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, that's us.
Well, no.
We know our governor is talking about doing away with
Well,
everybody's
he's trying to
property
do stuff
tax.
for the elderly people that
Uh-huh.
would bring them back.
Right, but, the proposition will probably be next year to do away with everyone's property tax. And then the legislature will somehow have to reimburse counties like ours that are disadvantaged economically. And so they'll have to figure out how much we're gonna get and all that, so.
It's personally owned property, it's homesteads, it's not income property. But, to look at Florida, we're at a disadvantage because the most property in the state of Florida is owned by either cattle or dairy or citrus
Yeah,
or
agriculture.
it's all agriculture. I mean, I don't know anything except for golf courses that, that have a large amount of property that's not agriculture. So we're at a disadvantage tax-wise.
So what we need to do, I just threw that out there for you all to be thinking about it, because I know we've discussed, where we're at in our budget and how to get back in good fiscal condition. Taxing is only one option, additional taxing. The other option is to cut spending. Okay, and we've got a budget where we've cut a lot of spending. Hopefully by the end of this next fiscal year, our fund balance will be healthy again, and then we won't have to worry about these other options.
I just wanna add one thing and then I want to close out, but, I just wanna say that there is a, situation going on right now over in LaBelle, but it does affect us because it involves Port LaBelle. And, there is an, I can't think of the name, St. Matthew's House is trying to rezone the Port LaBelle Inn. And, so I'm gonna be sending you some things in that, email, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to, rezone it, and it would kind of make it where there's no taxes being paid. And instead, I also know that there's a private community going in there as well. And if that is rezoned the way what they're talking about, we're gonna miss out on a bunch of taxes. So I'm gonna be sending you a bunch of information, so when you start getting it, your emails don't kind of go, what is this? So, just to let you know about that.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else for the good of the group? Did I see you waving, Larry? or-
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Does the St. Matthew's House own that facility?
They do, but they're running it as a,
I didn't know they owned that.
they do.
Okay, so
But
they're-
they're running it, they're saying that they are a,
Well, they are not, aren't they a nonprofit?
They're a rehab facility, right?
Right,
yes,
right.
but
I support them because I love what they're doing and they have a really good, so it's one of the, just one of the things that I support, but I know that it's still operated as a hotel, so I didn't know,
it's not correctly zoned.
okay. Now, keep in mind, the only portion of Glades County for that,
Are the pillars,
the pillar in the parking lot.
and the parking lot and some of the a lot of the property.
Well, yeah, I don't know how much of that property they own. Okay. Because it's the back nine that's Glades and the front nine that's Hendrick.
And the Port LaBelle community is not real happy about it.
Okay, no, they've never been. Because they think that there's a bunch of outlaws and criminals down there. Well, they're not. Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, meeting adjourned.
And you're gonna do it way, it's gonna be